Jodan Sancho has been axed from the Man United squad by the United board, and I think it has been one of those ultimatums that United really reached at the beginning of the training sessions this week at Carrington. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where you're watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. I'm here to bring you the latest news and information as far as this is concerned. And when you obviously breach the disciplinary code of Man United, you know to it that you are going to obviously be suspended. This was done. Cristiano Ronaldo and Jodan Sancho couldn't be treated any better. Amid us thinking that maybe he's still young, he's still 23 years of age, he holds a very long contract with Man United, he's an English player, as some people really thought. Damian has a friend who thought that maybe Sancho will obviously be not treated like that because he's English, but the wrath of Erik ten Hag and the ruthlessness has gone ahead to extend even to Jodan Sancho, to act as an example that he's really a man who really stands on his word. We have quotes coming in from Sammy McBo. We're having in Sammy McBo is a tier 1 journalist coming in from the Mail. Telegraph Dakar, correspondent of United for that, and there is another correspondent of United for Goal throwing in something that is really so much enticing about Facundo Pellistri and Rasmus Højlund, and why this is good news to these players of Manchester United. Let's start it off with how the morning started. As I told you in the first video that Anton Martial really came early at the club of Man United, and he was obviously told to go back and obviously return during the training time. During the afternoon, that is UK time, Jodan Sancho arrived, and he's the person you are seeing in that photo. That's how Jodan Sancho arrived at Carrington today, and I think he came, when you take a look at his face, looks like this decision had been taken yesterday, and Sancho knew that he was not going to train with the team of Manchester United. Then yesterday night, Sammy McBo broke the story about the Jodan Sancho situation and Erik ten Hag, that John Mata and Richard Arnold are at the center of ongoing talks to settle the dispute between Erik ten Hag and Jodan Sancho. Arnold is regularly updated on the progress of the talks, but Mata's role is significantly more prominent. Now, yesterday night, I think this is when the chat and the talk between Sancho, Erik ten Hag, and John Mata really hit the main decision point. And guess what? John Mata had ordered Richard Arnold to come in through and obviously see to it that he mediates the two. And if at all they don't obviously come to a compromise, then a solution has to be found. And he wanted this to be really solved, because if Erik ten Hag went to the press conference tomorrow at Carrington, when these issues were still pending, it wouldn't have gone ahead to act well or look well for the club of Man United, meaning that they had to obviously solve this, and this statement had to be put out immediately, because this would have gone ahead to cause more damage to Erik ten Hag and his hand and power at the club. Now, the club of Man United, like 30 minutes back, have gone ahead and put out a statement that Manchester United released Jodan Sancho official statement. It read, Jodan Sancho will remain on a personal training program away from the first team group pending resolution of a squad disciplinary issue. Now, this is what we call a club, and what we call trimming those wings of players who believe that they are really special at the club. And I think Ten Hag is obviously doing it the best way possible to obviously take on the club of Manchester United to the next level. And Jodan Sancho deserved this. Obviously, when you weigh what Ten Hag is going to have to do for the club of Man United and Jodan Sancho, obviously Erik ten Hag weighs 100% and Sancho weighs 0. That is it, because Sancho has been here. This is going to be his third season, and he has relatively not produced or met the expectations that we obviously bought him for from Borussia Dortmund. But guess who was going to have to elevate the hope and the optimism of the fans of United to the next level? That is Erik ten Hag. Having spent close to 6 seasons without lifting any trophy, Erik ten Hag has found himself in a position getting it back to the Champions League, lifting the Champions League trophy, finishing third, and registering 75 points in his first season. That is Erik ten Hag. And he has gone ahead to obviously get to where he needs to be in a nick of time. Now, I can just imagine what really took place in between these talks between Sancho and Erik ten Hag. Obviously, Erik ten Hag will tell the board, if you don't punish Jodan Sancho, I'm leaving, because he's a man of his word, and he knows that the moment one player is treated specially, all in a very specific manner that sees him breach the disciplinary code, then that will obviously serve as an example to others, and it will cost the club. That is it. The club had to dance to the tunes of Erik ten Hag, because if the board ever allowed this to happen, that Sancho should get into the team of United straight away after getting that tweet off, having spent there close to 8-9 days on his Twitter, then lots of things would have gone ahead to really happen in the dressing room, divisions, and also on and so forth. So, to my understanding, this was what was called for. Sancho needs to know his levels and obviously get to know that there are certain points he shouldn't exceed. And when he's plotting his territory at the club of Man United, he shouldn't obviously go to the manager. He can have a quarrel with a player. He can do anything with anyone else, but not with Erik ten Hag. And we all of us said him coming out and obviously expressing his anger in public was really bad, though it showed us why this was really happening. But we got a final reason as to why Sancho was being treated like that, because Sancho always breached the codes of Erik ten Hag, to an extent that in the second game we played in the season, in the Premier League this season, that ended 2-0 in favor of Tottenham Hotspur, Jodan Sancho was given a chance. Jodan Sancho was given a chance to start, and he arrived late, because for these players, they obviously know that they're going to start in the previous training that they do, and Sancho was part of the team to start because it's going to hate to impress. But he arrived late when it came to what we call the team prep. So that is Jodan Sancho for you, and Ten Hag is going to hate to obviously immense his power at the club of Manchester United, and another player has been trimmed his wings, because Ronaldo faced this, Rashford has gone ahead to face this, De Gea thrown under the bus, Harry Maguire being dethroned of the captains of Man United, and obviously it's now Jodan Sancho's wings being trimmed, and Ten Hag is continuing to impose his power at the club of Manchester United, and that is what we call manager power taking over the club. And if at all the manager is in total control, trust me, nothing will ever go wrong. Now, Sammy McBell went ahead and reiterated the words that he told us last night, that fact, Mata and Arnold felt compelled to step into this, provided a clear indication that this dispute isn't easily resolvable. Now United confirm Sancho is training away from the first team, and this is what we need at the club of Man United. Now, for every player who thinks that he will ever come out and take on Erik ten Hag, he knows the outcome. He knows the outcome. That is it. And imposing this to the players is really great, that we've reached a level that every player will have to understand where he falls. And Jodan Sancho has acted as an example of many, because most of the players, one player that was obviously suspended and he reacted badly was Ronaldo, and never returned to the club of Man United because he went ahead to get fined, trained with under 21s, missed out on the game of Chelsea, and then went ahead to obviously say out an interview with Piers Morgan, and he never came back to the club of Man United. That is Cristiano Ronaldo for you. And everyone thought that maybe Ten Hag and Ronaldo would obviously come to a compromise, but Ten Hag stood his ground and told the board, I don't want Ronaldo back to this team. A mutual consent was reached and the contract was terminated. And we never know what's going to happen for Jodan Sancho, because he might find out himself in a position of obviously saying, I want to obviously terminate my contract. I want to leave the club of Man United, but that will be a very bad gesture for him. I think his agent will just tell Jodan Sancho, just admit the punishment and get back to the team, and in January we'll try to push for you to leave the club of Man United, because all players will have a point like that at a certain point X, but the way the resolution is made is the biggest achievement. Now, Telegraph Dhaka is James Dhaka. He's a correspondent of United for the Telegraph. He has said Ten Hag feels badly let down by Jodan Sancho given the length to which he feels he went last season to try to help him kickstart his career. Jodan Sancho's outburst both stunned and infuriated Ten Hag and has left Sancho facing an uncertain future at the club of Manchester United. Now, this is evident, and we can all understand it, that as a disciplinarian Ten Hag is, he cannot allow a player like Sancho to obviously step back into the team. I've seen people say lots of things that Sancho's going to hate to mess up his chance. It's not far off for him. He just needs to get to know that he's not a special player, that he shouldn't follow the disciplinary code of Erik Ten Hag. If Rashford is following it, Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Bruno Fernandes, players performing at better levels than you, then why aren't you dancing to the tunes of the disciplinary code of the manager? So that is what Jodan Sancho needs to know, and I think it's not far off for him to obviously rediscover at the age of 23 that he has a huge career of him to play, because if Sancho continues like this, he's going to mess up his career. He still has 2 years to his prime, and he has to obviously offer better to the football game. If not, he'll blame himself and he'll miss football, and football won't miss him, because he'll always be told, he'll always be telling himself had the potential to perform at the higher levels, but my disciplinary actions really led me to obviously losing it out at the club of Manchester United. Now, everyone has been asking, now, who is going to come in through and obviously do the needful into that right wing? This is where we say it's Facundo Pellistri time. Now, this is James Robinson, a United correspondent for Goal, has gone ahead and really told us that Rasmus Højlund looks like the type of player who probably needs service from wide areas, and I think that's probably a weakness United have got. Facundo Pellistri probably is the type of player who will feed him, and they need more of that. That is James Robson. So I really like it a lot to see to it that Facundo Pellistri is into the picture, and I've just seen United, after putting out that statement of Jodan Sancho, they've gone ahead and obviously posted a photo of Facundo Pellistri, meaning that Facundo Pellistri is in line to start, and it shows you how patience pays, but pays. Facundo has been patient for all this long, and finally he has gone ahead to get a payment for his patience, and it's all about him being ushered into the starting 11 of Man United. And there's no reason as to why Facundo doesn't start the game of Brighton, and I'm returning with the match preview of United hosting Brighton at Old Trafford. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So your thoughts on to Jodan Sancho asked. It's not asked, it's asked, as in he has been axed from the United squad. A welcome in the comment section below. Is the banishment great or not? I really call for your reactions into the comment section below. And you believe that it's Facundo Pellistri time? All that and more into the comment section below. Rock and David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later as I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barak Lau Fikum. Ciao, ciao.